So we're making some headway in Element Fission. We rated the natural 3-star Element last time, but it's time to move on to the Nat 4s. Then after we've ranked every Element, I'll even fuse them into an all-inclusive super tier list. Okay, let's break down this Element Fission Nat 4 tier list. Water Sky Police is the classic setup Element. She attack buffs the team and defense breaks all enemies, which leads to a sick turn 1 sweep from your attackers. A tier. Fire Sky Police takes it upon herself to randomly do a good chunk of damage with her skill 3. This can amount to some decent damage and surprise new players. B tier. Tree Sky Police is a good supplier of speed and attack buffs, which basically sets Element with speed and attack multipliers to sicko mode. C tier. Light Sky Police can set up really cool chain kills by spamming her skill 3. Between her counters, immunity, and damage, she does a lot of work, even on her own. A tier. Dark Sky Police does really well in this debuff heavy tank meta. She sports 3 roles at once and is always worth using as your initiator. A tier. Water String Maid is a solid choice for single target attack bar manipulation and group healing. She'll definitely be worth using if you need a support. B tier. Fire String Maid strips enemy buffs and gives your team defense buffs. She can fill an ally's attack bar while decreasing her targets. C tier. Tree String Maid takes her pick of either matching an ally's HP or matching their attack bar. The heals and attack buff plus the usual first skill makes her alright. C tier. Water Ant Cannon is like an initiator that screws over the enemy instead of helping yourself. So many AoE debuffs plus action bar for the team. B tier. Fire Ant Cannon can give himself a bit of attack bar and remove a buff every time he attacks, if his HP is lower than the enemy's. C tier. Tree Ant Cannon is the man when it comes to Bookworm setup. Turn 1 he clears buffs like shields, goes again and crit rate and attack buffs the team. B tier. Light Ant Cannon forces the enemy's attack bar to 0 regardless if they're immune or not. This skill's actually so good he stuns himself for it. B tier. Dark Ant Cannon can do insane feats with his 3rd skill. A nuker that drains health from the enemy and goes again when they die. A tier. Water Archon is shockingly efficient at pulling reversals on buffers by passively stealing buffs, and each buff he possesses is an extra 40% attack for him. B tier. Fire Archon relies on RNG to take an extra turn after the enemy. With his passive vampirism, you can put him on a bash set and solo entire teams with him. A tier. Tree Archon is far more annoying than I initially thought. Pairing his passive shield with health shielding sets can soak a lot of damage, slowing attackers in the process. B tier. Light Archon has a lot going for him. The leader skill alone is really good, but his passive makes your team way harder to kill, and he steals mad HP from the enemy team. S tier. Dark Archon takes a step back from being OP up front and takes a back seat until Elements start dying. Each Element's death makes him considerably more powerful. B tier. Water Bookworm lacks one key component every other Bookworm has, AoE, but he can be used for locking down bosses, only with a freeze and not a stun. D tier. Fire Bookworm is getting warmer but still not quite the best when it comes to AoE damage. He's still better than a lot of Element though. B tier. Tree Bookworm is where it's at. Total ignore defense on skill 3, another AoE on skill 2, strong base attack, easy to gear, and easy to use. S tier. Light Bookworm takes the crown as probably the best healer in the game. Multiple AoE heals with extra turns, cleanses, and revives. He should probably have been an Nat 5. Double S tier. Dark Bookworm employs a tactical strategy of reaching max power from buffs, then just erasing the enemy from existence. S tier. Water Ninrat's passive lowers his target's attack bar every hit, and every hit has a chance for a bonus hit. On Echo, it can be funny to watch the rat throw 3 shurikens. B tier. Fire Ninrat is a sneaky one. He practically must be killed by multiple hits or he will just keep coming back. C tier. Tree Ninrat, like his brothers, is also good at only one thing, which in his case is damage over time. He can put 6 dots on the enemy, which helps cheese some bosses. B tier. Light Ninrat was so close to being good, but the passive could just not trigger multiple turns in a row, and his attack isn't good enough to justify ignoring defense. C tier. Dark Ninrat forces himself to stay stealthed with an extra 50% passive resistance. Tricky to get past for those unprepared to deal with stealth. B tier. Water Engineer Robot is just an unkillable wall that gives out heals over time, AoE heals, cooldown reduction, and debuff duration reduction. S tier. Fire Engineer Robot is like a sweeper setup's wet dream. AoE attack buff, speed buff, and attack buff. Too good in fact, so he burns himself while doing it. A tier. Tree Engineer Robot is really good at both planting bombs and helping them detonate faster. Good if you're fighting bosses with a bomb team. C tier. Light Engineer Robot does a ton. Arena speed buff, AoE healing, defense buff that shortens cooldowns and defense breaks, attack bar increase, and strips every attack. S tier. Dark Engineer Robot extends debuffs for enemies, shortens debuffs for allies, gives action bar to himself every turn the enemy takes, and reduces action bar when he attacks. A tier. Water Gunslinger can help your team out if you need both more damage and some extra turns. He can strip his target on hit. B tier. Fire Gunslinger just gives your team twice as many turns by pairing his speed buff with a passive attack bar increase for the team every time he crits. A tier. Tree Gunslinger takes Nuker to the extreme with a 5x multi-hitting ignore defense third skill. This melts everything it touches and is a staple in many top ranked teams. S tier. Light Gunslinger is a bit stat hungry, needing luck to increase his odds of ignoring defense. He also really needs high crit rate too, which is a big ask for a small return. B tier. Dark Gunslinger took the luck thing and applied it in a much better way. His luck rate converts to crit rate and his mark is just twice as effective for some reason. A tier. Water Bomberman takes the cake when it comes to resourceful bombers. AoE bombs are pretty rare in this game, and his passive unyielding revive comes in clutch. A tier. Firebomb Man is like an anti-cleansing single target nuker. He explodes the bombs before they get a chance to be removed and passively plants extra bombs. B tier. Tree Bomb Man plants a bomb with a humongous 1200% multiplier, but it's likely to glance and he cowers in fear awaiting for it to detonate. C tier. Light Bomb Man exposes all stealthies, stunning them in the process. He's the second and only other AoE bomber with an edge on those AoE buffers. A tier. Dark Bomb Man is more like a psycho bomber, just self-buffing and letting bombs loose. He also speeds himself up, making him speedy and spammy. B tier. Water Ghost Pirate fills both the team attack roll and the cooldown refresh roll with one skill. He's like a support version of a fire sharpshooter. B tier. Fire Ghost Pirate can give his speed leader skill anywhere, and his third skill can deplete the entire enemy team's action bar with speed break to boot. B tier. Tree Ghost Pirate is a cooperative Element who really shines when paired with the right partners. Bombmans and Ninrats give him plenty of debuffs to detonate. B tier. Light Ghost Pirate has one of those crazy OP passives. He makes enemies more likely to glance, and when they do, he counters them with an AoE. Imagine him on a bash set. S tier. Dark Ghost Pirate has his fun too by slowly stealing the target's attack bar or boss's HP bar when he attacks. His multi-hits and AoE first skill help ameliorate his passive. A tier. Water Puppet Artist is incredible at locking down enemy teams with action bar reduction, freezes, and defense breaks all on the same skill. The cooldown's pretty short too. A tier. Fire Puppet Artist can be useful if you use her to manipulate the enemy's health bar. Team synergy required for this one, as you'll need someone to follow up her skill 3. C tier. Tree Puppet Artist is coming up the arena ranks lately. She blocks the death of an ally and has a lot of good support and utility with immunity and heals. A tier. Water Annihilator is one option for a single target attacker. His buff ignore and ignore defense can be used to wail on an enemy if you need some extra damage. C tier. Fire Annihilator can cover a lot of roles at once. His AoE debuffs help you out, and his third skill buffs your attacker's attack and your defender's defense for 3 turns. C tier. Tree Annihilator annihilates enemy buffs, then cripples them with stuns and dots. His AoE prowess is underrated, and if you don't have a Bookworm, he's a solid choice. B tier. Light Annihilator has another one of those passives that sort of breaks the game. Basically, attacking his teammates causes a 3-dot counter every single time. S tier. Dark Annihilator makes his opponent regret bringing buffs. He deals extra damage to buffed units and super buffs himself if they buff up. B tier. Water Wisp Catcher passively increases his speed by 30% and does bonus damage against enemies slower than him. A tier. Fire Wisp Catcher takes it upon himself to destroy the enemy's max health just by passively hitting them. Combined with the set bonus, he can quickly limit your max health. B tier. Tree Wisp Catcher is amazing for applying AoE Oblivion. Let's face it, some of these Element are nothing without their passives, and she dissipates that worry away. A tier. Light Wisp Catcher gets multiple area of effect attacks, and he makes good use of both of them. He can pack quite a wallop when it comes to group damage. A tier. Dark Wisp Catcher evolves over time, gaining huge stat boosts. This was also buffed to be twice as effective, making him a monster by the end of a fight. A tier. Water Assassin takes your allies, enemies, and even his own health bar into his own hands, manipulating them with proper buffs for you and debuffs for the enemy. C tier. Fire Assassin forces all of the healing on the battlefield to be better for himself at the cost of making healing worse for everyone else. A bit of a double-edged sword. C tier. Tree Assassin breaks damage over time by healing from it, and even using damage over time on teammates as a means of accelerating his ignored defense. B tier. Water Bear doesn't even really need to move. The bears like to sleep, and so Water Bear passively chops 5% of the enemy's health every turn he gets a nap. B tier. Fire Bear just says no whenever he gets hit and delays the damage until the end of the turn. This means he can technically tank infinite damage if set up correctly. A tier. Tree Bear is a mainstay for half of every arena team in the game. His passive counters and lifesteal make him easy to gear with a huge return for little investment. S tier. Light Bear is utterly capable of reaching top-end PvP rewards all by himself. His popularity can't be overstated, as the first time you come across him, you likely won't survive. Double S tier. Dark Bear gets the joy of being the RNG Bear. If you're lucky enough, he can hit the enemy more than a few times. Put him on Echo and watch him slap the enemy to death in a single turn. A tier. Water Ripper boasts one amazing support skill that does 4 things at once: cleanses, heals, nullifies, and grants unyielding. A tier. Fire Ripper gives himself 100% bonus crit damage once in a while, leading up to a huge kaboom right in the enemy's face. A tier. Tree Ripper scales based on how much max HP was destroyed. When he kills, he gains stealth and absorbs their attack power, making him a unique anti-reviver. A tier. Light Ripper got the Jack of all trades treatment, allowing you to customize his uses based on the stats you build him with. That way he can be used anywhere. A tier. Dark Ripper got the Curse of Death right in his kit. He auto-revives with greater lifesteal and power, making death a tool at your disposal instead of a lose condition. B tier. And that's every Nat 4 ranked on an official Element Fission tier list. As always, if you think I missed the mark on one, then let me know with a comment. And if you're still waiting on the Nat 5 tier list, just make sure to subscribe so you won't miss when it drops. Thanks for watching, but other than that y'all, that's gonna do it for me today, and I'll see y'all later, bye.